Welcome to lesson 11. Today we're going to be working on this gorgeous Be Thankful card celebrating the month of November. As you can see, we're going to be learning some fun techniques, taking paper and creating dimension, like this fun rosette down here, and also we have this fun kind of paneling going on down here below. All right, so to get started with the November tag, you want to pull out the November cut apart sheet. So we're only going to be pulling 3 items from the cut apart sheet for this tag. The first one is the Be Thankful little tag here that's horizontal. So you want to cut that one out. Also down here, the one that starts with autumn with the brown border, you want to cut that one out. And then up in the top corner where it says warm greetings with the yellow bird and the orange bird. And so then the rest of those cut aparts are going to be for you to use on many more November projects. As for the flourish sheet, we're going to be we need 2 different big pieces. So first, we're going to need a 3 by 5.5 by 6. Then we'll need a 3 by 7/8 by 7 1/4. So again, just to repeat on that, just to get that, make sure you can get those. You want a 3 by 7 1/8 by 7 1/4, and then 3 by 5/8 by 6. If you want to cut those out, we can get the project started. All right, to start first, before we start layering, like we have in the past, we're going to actually be creating these fun the rosette and then the folding. All right, so if you have a score pile, those are great to use, but you can also use often a lot of other types of things like your Fiskars, cutters, and whatnot. So what you want to do is you want to go back and grab your cut apart page, because we do need to grab the 2 pieces for the scoring. The first is what you want to take this border, just go down to the bottom of the green, and then you're going to want to just select another random piece that's 1 inch long. The border piece, you're going to cut that down so it's to 11 inches. The other random piece that's 1 inch long, 1 inch wide, you're going to want to cut that to 10.5 inches. So just trim off that little extra. So with the border piece, you want to cut that down so it's down to 11, and the other random one, cut it down to 10.5. So with the rosette, what we're going to do on that one is we're going to score at every 1/4 of an inch. So what you want to do is you want to take your scoreboard and just score that at every 1/4 of an inch. And just do that all across, all the way to the end. Okay, so now that you have scored the rosette to every 1/4 of an inch, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to connect it. So see, what we don't want to connect it just on that one little tab. We need to actually make a mountain. So we might have to go over a couple layers in order to have a secure mountain. So just make sure you have at least 2 to 3 layers like so that it's a really secure. Then you want to put on a dry adhesive. Okay, so once you put your dry adhesive on there, you want to press the green going inward. So once you flipped it over to the orange side, because that's going to be our back side, we're going to reinforce it with some hot glue gun on just a little scrap. And like I said, if you can cut out a little circle, that's totally fine, but you don't necessarily have to, just as long as it's small enough scrap that you're not going to see it. And a hot glue gun just seems to work the best and will give you the least amount of anxiety, hopefully. But maybe I spoke too soon. So then you just want to hold that into place. Give it a few seconds, make sure it's secured. Then we're going to reinforce it on the other side with this little decorative chipboard from our chipboard sets. So it looks like that's going to be pretty solid. So now we're gonna put some hot glue just in the middle there, since this piece is so small. And then just dab that right in the center. And then we have our gorgeous homemade rosette. All right, so we're gonna put that aside. Now we're gonna work on our decorative flap paneling down at the bottom there. And this is the one that we're gonna score just a 1/2 inch all the way across. So just score that at a 1/2 inch, just all the way across, just like we just did with the rosette. And then we'll do the fold paneling on that. So once you have that scored, you're gonna take it, and on the first end, you're just gonna have it, you're gonna have it folded just for the first 1/2 inch, but you're actually gonna go up a whole inch. So it's gonna have, you're still gonna be able to see a panel. And you're gonna continue doing that so you have the whole, you do a whole inch at a time. There we go. And you just kind of have to play with it because we did score those, so it's a little challenging, but you just have to keep working it down. So you're folding it at the inch mark. And so at the ends, when you're finished, it should look like so, like a little curtain. So the best way to secure this is you want to take some just clear tape, just like Scotch tape or whatnot, and then you just want to tape that across the back. And so then if there's some tape hanging out here, so I'll trim off the excess. So then we have those pieces ready to go for us. So now we can start putting the card, assembling the card together. So let's start out with your back side of the card before we start doing all the dimensional. So turn over so your grommet is on the right end, and we're just going to glue that right on the back side. For your photos and all of your Thanksgiving dinners. So get that adhered down, just right there in the center. So we have that. Then you're going to flip that back over, and we're going to put down with the colorful fall colors face up. Put your adhesive on that. Just centered on there as well. Looks nice and nice background to start out. Then you're going to take your flourish sheet, and on your flourish sheet you have a bunch of different little words, and we're looking for love much. So up here at the top center, you just want to cut close into love much as possible. So cut love much down, and that's going to go at the top of our tag. So with your love much, you're just going to take that, put some adhesive on the back, and pick this up, because that's definitely something I'm thankful for, is the love, my loved ones. And then we have some of our decorative label holders that come in sets of 3 and are so fun to work with. They definitely have the vintage kind of character to them with those edges. So there's a lot of fun. All right, so now we're going to take our warm greetings, And we're gonna attach this to the bottom of our curtains we just made. And we are gonna have to trim on one end or another a little bit of the curtains at the bottom, but that is not a problem. And so the same with this, I'm going to put some adhesive down across the bottom, but I'm gonna tape them down too, just because they are so kind of bouncy, that it will reinforce it a lot. So take that and just tape those across the bottom. And see how you see the adhesive doesn't want to stay all the way. So just kind of help that. And just trim off the extra. Okay. So then we have that. And because the curtains are dimensional, we're going to put this up on some 3D adhesive. Perfect. Okay, there we go. Excellent. So now we have our little autumn sign. And so we kind of curl up those edges a little bit. You can do that with a number of things. I really like working with chopsticks for this type of thing, but it's not necessary. If you have a pen or pencil or even a bone folder, helps kind of create that old feeling. And that gets positioned off to the left, right? And just grab some we're also going to put on the Be Thankful. It's right before. So, because that gets just positioned right under it a little bit. So you put your Be Thankful on there, and then depends on if you want to block the bird very much or not. I kind of like showing a little bit of the orange bird. So on this one, I'm going to have that hang off a little bit more. All right. And then just the final touches. We have our beautiful rosette that we made. Some good amount of glue on there to hold that lady. And then finally, we have one of our lovely metal keys that come in these key packs of an assortment that are really fun to work with, great with cards and all sorts of projects. So, and then just glue that down there. Put a little twine on it to have an extra little festive kick to it. So, and there's November. Be thankful.